Hit that button, Hector.
Man, that hit that button, Hector, is just classic, bro. I'm so glad that I stick with it. It's my classic signature. But hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Kid at Heart. I'm your one and only host, Gabriel Valdivia, aka Old Man Gabe. So how y'all doing today? I hope y'all doing good. Just trying to get this review in real quick on Ironheart. You know what I mean? I took my pre-workout, so I'm really going right now. I'm tweaking. You know, I'm like, so you see rapid eye movement, just know that it's the pre-workout. I swear. But let's see, Ironheart, bro. Everybody's giving this thing mixed reviews. You know, I'm gonna go straight to the point because I'm trying to make this fast, quick, and sweet. Ironheart, I watched like the first 3 episodes that they came out with, and honestly, I think it's good. The first episode was kind of hard to get through, a little cringy, you know what I mean? Because it's not my forte, you know what I mean? I know nothing about Ironheart to top it off, so you know, I was like, I want to just give it a chance. And the reason it was so hard for me to give it a chance is because literally like a couple nights before that, I watched what was it, Captain America: Brave and Bold, you know what I mean? And that was not it. That's not, I recommend don't watch that one. I mean, if you like it, you like it, but I'll do a different review on that one a different day. But it was hard to go into this, you know, knowing that, you know, like they were trying to take a different approach, and I was like, man, I hope they do better because they didn't do very good on it. So watching Ironheart, like I said, the first episode kind of cringe, was kind of hard to get, you know, wrapped my head around it and stuff, you know. But once the episodes start picking up, I started liking it. Like Riri, you know what I mean? She's like the main character who's supposed to be kind of like Iron Man, but I'll get to that later. I didn't like her. I really didn't. And I know she was like in Wakanda Forever and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And she had like smaller roles, I felt. Like, I haven't seen Wakanda Forever in a fat minute, so I can't remember exactly what she did all in that movie. But I know even during that movie, I didn't pay attention to her that much, you know? So with that being said, going into this new series, you know, standalone thing, at first it was kind of like I was having difficulty liking her as a person because, you know, Iron Man, there's only one Iron Man. But here was the trick. Once you start watching the show and you kind of separate it, you know what I mean? Don't compare it to other Marvel projects, or don't even compare it to Iron Man, you know what I mean? Because literally this person is his own person, you know? And after a while, like, I don't know, I noticed that if I just don't look at it as a Marvel thing, I just look at it as its own thing, it kind of started growing on me. Like, it stands alone by itself pretty well if you just don't compare it to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what role will it play and all that stuff. Like, if you kind of block out all that noise and you just watch the show for the show, it's really good. Because as I was watching it, I didn't even look at it as a Marvel show, you know what I mean? Excuse me. Oh, pre-workout, sorry. But yeah, if you just look at it as its own thing, you know what I mean? I think it does pretty well. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy it. I was sucked in. I was to the point where, you know, my kids are like, Dad, I said, shh, I'm watching the show. And I don't do that very often. Not with shows, you know what I mean? Like, maybe with anime and stuff, but not with no Marvel shows. And I know with the last couple TV shows that Marvel has done, you know, they haven't been the greatest. So with that being said, I say check it out, man. Overall, Riri Williams, I think it's cool. She's cool. She's different. You know what I mean? She's just feisty and has a big mouth and likes to ramble on. But I'm hoping that throughout the series, she knows how to back it up. You know, when she makes her AI, I think the AI is funny. I think it balances out. You know how Riri is so serious sometimes, and I forgot her name. Let me see real quick. I have it in here. Not the Hood. What was her? I just called it AI. I think it's Natalie, right? Yeah, Natalie is like her best friend. And, you know, like, I think she balances out a lot of like the funnier parts and how it makes it a little bit more enjoyable and kind of like keeps Riri on check. I really like that about her, you know, because Riri's kind of like bouncing off the walls with all this stuff that's going on, and then realizes how serious this is, you know, because Natalie's like, yo, you don't know who this person is, you don't know what they do, you know what I mean? So she's trying to get that fast money, trying to make a quick buck, you know. I don't like how everybody's like, oh, well, I don't like how they talked about Iron Man in it, and Iron Man is not like this and not like that. And I paid no mind to that, you know. I was like, whatever, like, I don't care if you talk about Iron Man. I don't care if you talk about Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, I just want to see how you stand alone as a character, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And then the bad guy, Parker, or Red Hood, I think, or the Hood is what they're calling him. You know what I mean? I think that character does very well, you know, as a villain, because I seen him in what was it, the Transformers movies, and him being in the Transformers movies, I was like, dude, this guy is good. You know what I mean? I like finding these new actors and seeing what they can bring to the table, like a really fresh take to all this new stuff. You know what I mean? Which is nice, because Marvel is gonna keep doing its thing, and it needs, you know, fresh actors, new people, something to bring Marvel back to life, you know. So I'm glad that they're, you know, trying out these new people, new things. But yeah, overall, you know, 1 to 5, I give it a solid like 7.5, because I'm just saying that now because I want to see how it ends, and it had me completely sucked in, and there's not many shows that do that. I think the new episodes will release July 1st. Yeah, it will. July 1st, they'll come out with 4, 5, and 6. So 3 more episodes. And the names of the episodes are pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's, let's see, number 4 will be Bad Magic, which I feel like will be interesting to, like, get a little bit deeper into, like, Parker's, like, hooded thing. You know what I mean? Like, some people say Mephisto, some people say this, which is like, I don't know. I'm just enjoying it. Okay. And then, let's see. The 5th one will be Karma's a Glitch, which is an interesting take. You know what I mean? It got me thinking a lot to do with, like, the AI and what's going to happen to come back and, you know, bite them in the butt for all the other stuff they done. And then last, episode 6, it says, the past is the past. So I'm interested to see if, like, Riri overcomes, you know, her anxiety and her, you know, kind of like PTSD with this whole thing with Natalie and everything. You know, I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to do no spoilers. This is just for me to tell you that I think it's a good show, and I think you should check it out. And as long as you look at it as not a Marvel thing, just look at it as its own thing, as its own character development and stuff. You know what I mean? I say just let it roll. Like I said, first episode kind of hard, but besides that, I think it's doing well. I mean, some people are hating on it, but everybody has their thing. You know, Rotten Tomatoes got to a 71%. The average popcorn, whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called. They got like let's see, a 60%. IMDb, they gave it a 3.7 out of 10, which I don't think that's fair, man. I think they should let the whole show roll out and then just see how it goes. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Ironheart. I say check it out. I think it's worth it. Just kind of stick with it, and, you know, let's see where it takes us. But yeah, all right, that's everything. All right, peace out. I gotta work out because this pre-workout got me sweating and breathing hard.
Hit that button, Hector.
Peace.